So Shashwani cleared PMP with all above target, people above target, process above target, business environment Shashwani
About target.
above target. So Shashwani set that tone for it, and I also put it today on LinkedIn, another medium, that in the August 4 days we have four certified PMP and all with above target. So Shashwani actually planned to give the interview tomorrow because she is a very busy professional, senior service manager, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, so she is always busy, and she said that okay, so let's do it today because today is a great day. So let's hear it from Shashwani about her journey. First of all, let me put it somewhere. From all the 119 certified PMPs which we have till now, with 99.1 success rate, this person is very special to me. In last 2 or 3 months, we have a very strong relationship like a brother and sister, and I actually yell at her like a brother and she yell at me back like a sister. So I'm privileged, Shishwani, I'm saying this on a recorded platform, to work with you as a brother or a sister, and to make sure that you cleared it, and it really made me proud. So when you were giving exam, I told my wife today is Shashwani's exam, and she was so confident. She said that Shashwani, I know Shashwani, she's gonna get all above target, but Shashwani was not that much confident for that. So Shashwani, let's hear it from your side. Please go ahead. Share your entire journey in your words.
Yeah, so I actually I had wanted to do PMP for some time, but then I always had this thing in mind, like whether I should do PMP or whether I should do some other certification. And then some what happened was someone introduced me to your videos. Like actually my husband was doing PMP, so he introduced me to your videos, and I started watching some videos, and then I really started, I don't know, it was some connection that was there with you, where I started liking the way you used to explain your journeys, because I'm a kind of person who doesn't like to read. Like like to read a lot of books, but I don't like to read study books. So then I was very fascinated by your videos. So one day I remember I actually messaged you on your one of your YouTube videos, and then I asked you, like, you were talking about starting your batch, and then I said, what are your timings with your batch? And then you said, which part of the world are you located in? And then I got back to you. I messaged you on WhatsApp, and then I think immediately we started off on that same day we spoke, and then we started off with our journey. I was your one-on-one student. Then about after a few days, I think this was somewhere around in mid or end of April. That was Ramadan time here in Kuwait also. And I used to have some time in the afternoon. So then we used to have our coaching call after my work, and then I joined your batch program. That was batch 7. So you told me to just to join the batch program, just to have a feel of how it is. So I really enjoyed the batch program as well, along with the one-on-one coaching. So after that, I think, yeah, 1 month around, I was studying and I was giving whatever you were giving me, like your notes. I had gone through, I had done your initial all 50 questions of the slides which you used to give me. After that, I think it was just mocks and mocks and mocks which I have done with you. And I have really watched, I think, all your journeys, because I like, more than reading, I like listening to stories. I like grabbing concepts through mind maps and through watching videos. So because I never liked making notes, and I never liked writing down stuff. So that was actually a benefit for me with you, because a lot of people I know who take PMP and all, they do a lot of giving of notes, and they make you take down notes, by heart the notes, see the processes. I couldn't grab those IGTOs, I couldn't grab those processes through going through the books and all. What I actually learned maximum of the PMP is through your journeys. So
Okay.
2 months of continuous mocks with you, and now I finally successfully completed my PMP journey. So also, like, I remember then after 2 months, I was like getting very frustrated. I was like, oh my God, I'm bored. I'm fed up. Like, I cannot do this PMP anymore. And I remember you telling me, come on, come on, come on, do 60 questions now. Don't do 180. I don't know what was the mindset behind changing it from 180 or 100 to 60. I remember you telling me, don't do any more 180 or don't do any more 100. Just do 60. And I remember you always messaging me, update, please. And I know every student of yours hears that update, update, please, I think from you, because I also used to fear it. I was like, oh shit, Amer Ali is asking me for an update. What do I update him now? I just last night gave him an update, and it is morning here, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're asking me for another update. But then I think I really enjoyed. I liked that you used to always follow up with me and you used to always, because for me, what happens is I'm very busy. So unless somebody like you used to constantly remind me, okay, give me an update. Have you done this? Have you done that? So that was really great from your side. And yeah, so I think I had booked my exam, but then you know that my exam couldn't happen during the end of July when I booked my exam. And I booked the exam on the 27th of July, and my exam didn't happen because I went to the center. I was still nervous. I know you told me that no worries, book your exam. I was like that day also was messaging, are you sure I'll book the exam? Are you sure I'll book the exam? I don't know. You said yeah, book the exam. So I don't know how you knew that I was prepared. I was feeling that I was never prepared.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And
27th July, I booked the exam. I went to the center, but it got cancelled because of some issues that the Pearson had globally. So my exam got cancelled on that day, and I was very very stressed actually that my exam got cancelled because I was like, oh God, another few more days to
that's a very interesting thing to see. Like suddenly you had an exam and suddenly it got cancelled. Many students like Jiku had faced this problem. Actually, one of my
Mm,
students who called you today, Priya,
yeah.
she had the same issue. Her exam was on the day after tomorrow. Now her exam is tomorrow. So she also had
Mm,
the same issue that exam got cancelled. And then she asked me actually when to book. I said our exam got cancelled yesterday. I said for tomorrow. Her exam was day after tomorrow. She was thinking I would say okay maybe after 1 week. No, no, tomorrow. Book the exam. You
mm,
know, with her there is also constraint she can only give exam by 6th of August.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
she
we need
told me
to
that.
see and tailor it according to that. So
Mm,
I know that from the first day you are not a kind of person who like to read things, and that is my I would say that is my specialty to tailor the process according to the requirement of my
yeah,
and my client. And
yeah.
you told me like that's why I always ask, okay, what is your strength? What is your weakness? Do SWOT analysis. Do this, because when
Mm,
do those surveys, we get some insights. Sometimes you even don't know those insights. Some students know, some students don't know. Okay, so
mm.
talk me, uh, just walk me through the exam process when you give the exam.
Yeah,
What is the
before I walk you through the exam process, I also want to say, like, that what happened was with me, like, I was trying to find out centers here in Kuwait. And then one of the centers told me, like, you don't need to. I called up one center, and then I didn't know that it was not a certified center. So I called them up and I was trying to book the exam date. This was somewhere around in mid of July, soon after, like end of July, June. I think I finished registering with the PMP website and I completed my membership and all. And then first week of July or something, I was trying to get a center to answer the exam. And then I called up this particular center here, and then they called me back and they said, like, ma'am, we will help you answer the exam. Like, you can pay a certain amount of fees, and then you don't need to even go and do anything. You just have to sit in front of the laptop and get your exam will be cleared. So actually, I was so fearful, because I have not done anything like this in my life where somebody is answering the exam for me. So I remember calling you.
yeah, that is actually such a bad practice that the things have started happening. Shashwani, when you did it, how did you approach them? How did you find them? Like you were trying to book the center from Pearson. So were they Pearson
No,
authorized?
No, 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 no. Actually, what happened was somebody told me, like an ex person, somebody who used to take this PMP classes. He had told me then that this center also conducts exams. So if you want to do the exam, you can go here and answer your exam. So then when I called them, they said a lady called me and she said, like, this is the way you can get the exam cleared. So I said, see, look, I'm actually studying to answer the exam, so I'm not very sure if I want to do anything like this. And I remember talking to you and then having the conversation. Then after about a week or two, I again called up the same center and they said, like, see, we help people to answer the exam with some amount of fees. And plus they were charging me additional, apart from helping to answer the exam, they were asking me for some additional money for the exam for the center. So they said it's like similar how you answer at home. This is not a certified PMP center. Then when I logged in, I saw that this was not one of the listed centers. There was another center which was listed for from the PSN.
So that is very important for all the candidates who are watching. Like spammers are everywhere. Shashwani, we have a separate WhatsApp group for the non-paid students, and I actually put my number, put that group link on LinkedIn and
Mm.
Facebook. And so many people joined, so many good people joined, but few of the spammer joined. What they are doing, they are messaging to every student. Like even in club, messaged me like 5 minutes ago before we started talking. Like I also
Mm.
received message from this person, and in club is a very smart guy and he knows all those things. So the spammers are very much active. Please, please, I want to say this from this interview to all the people. Please be aware about this spammer. They will destroy your career. They will take
Mm.
the money one time, and then they will blackmail you for the rest of life. PMI is working on them, and very soon PMI will resolve this issue. Okay, let's talk about the exam actually. So once you go
Mm.
to the center, how did you feel and all those things? I remember you called me even 1 hour before exam.
Yeah, I told you 1.5 hour towards the exam. I'm going to go to the center in 1.5 hours. Then I called you again from the center. I was actually very nervous, though in my heart of heart, I knew that I will do above. I mean, I will do good in the exam. I didn't know that I would be doing above target, but then I knew that I would clear the exam. But I was very scared because what was happening was, like I was always feeling that I don't know enough. Like I don't know, because my scores were always coming in between. Actually, I started off with getting 50, 55%, and then my scores went up to 65% in the mocks. And then later, towards the end of the end, like when just sometime before the exam, 1 or 2 weeks before the exam, I think I was scoring somewhere between 68 to 75 also, and in the last I've scored 76 percent for the mocks, for the Udemy and for the prepcast as well. Then when I went to the center, they registered in, the process was normal. They registered me in, and within half an hour, they started the exam. They called me and they told me to sit. Then what I did was, I they gave me a paper and a pen because I was at the center. So I had those 10 minutes when they walk you, they gave you that to see the terms and conditions and see what how you will go through the exam. So I skipped it, like I knew what it was, so I skipped it quickly. And on that paper, what I had 6 minutes remaining. So on that paper which I had, I put in everything what, like, I had prepared in my mind mentally, that I'm going to dump in everything whatever is in my mind. So I put in key things like what is a Tuckman ladder, what is how to keep the key stakeholders satisfied. All those I drew the graph. I kept the CV, PV, above schedule, all those things. I put it in the paper and I kept it handy for me, the formulas and all. I didn't use any of it during the exam, but I kept it handy just in case, because what happens is during the exam the time is ticking so fast. So I could have a glance and I could refer to it. This was my mindset when I was going. Another thing what I did during the exam also is, like, for the timing, I knew that the timing is total of 2:30. So I wrote it down on the paper with a line, and I wrote 2:30. I said 160 and then 90. This is how I split it up. So I did not have to go back referring every time. So I knew, okay, my clock was ticking backwards. I referred, okay, is it 160? So what I did was, I was targeting 160 for that 60 questions. So I had to finish 60 questions in 160 time. But I took 5 minutes extra. So I finished in 75 minutes the first set. First set was easy. I did mark a lot of questions for review. I tried to go back and review, but then I left it. I just closed and I closed it. I went for a 10-minute break. 10-minute
Okay.
break, I came back and I started with the second set, the 61st question. And the first 15 questions, I could not understand anything. I was like, oh my God, I do not understand anything of the question. What the hell are they asking me? Because I was finding it extremely difficult to understand. I couldn't understand which process they were trying to ask me. I couldn't understand the options. But then I somehow, because what happened, those 15 questions took a lot of my time. So I think I spent about 85 minutes in the second set. I somehow cleared it. What happened? The first 15 questions were very difficult in the second set. After that, it was easy. I cleared it up. Third section, I had only about 70, around 70 minutes or something remaining, 70, 75 minutes remaining. Uh, Third set was easy, like the first set, third set was also easy. But for the third set, I think I took more time because there was, though the questions were only three or four liners, the options which they gave was long. So it was taking me a little more time to analyze the answers, which to find out which is the right one. So I had to read the options at least two times to understand what they were trying to ask me. Because what happens is, in what I've seen is, in the options, when they're giving, probably one part of the answer will be correct, but the second part of the answer will not be correct. So I had to review that a little. So that took a little more time from me. I had just for the last five questions, I had only 4 minutes remaining, and that time was not enough because the options given were longer. So what I did was I quickly started reviewing, like, because I started panicking at that time. Last four questions, I started reading only the last line and started answering the questions. So
Okay.
last, I finished 58 seconds early, but
But
all
last
above target.
last few questions were like you moved with the ratio.
I
So
moved
this,
very quickly. Yes.
this is a very good strategy that I always say that when you have less time, read the last line and move.
Yeah.
This way you
Yeah.
can work in the best possible way. So
Yeah.
Shashwani, which area was more targeted? Because today was a very different thing for me. Asha cleared PMP, you know that with all above target.
Hmm.
Asha exam, they were
Hmm.
procurement was very heavy. What about your?
Yeah. Mine also.
Mine, your exam procurement was also heavy. So how many questions estimated?
See, in the last section, I had a lot of questions on procurement, and mathematical question on procurement about cost overruns or something, and I didn't have the time to actually sit and do the formula and answer the question. So what I did was I just randomly selected whatever I wanted to in my mind, and I moved on, because and I marked it for review, but I could not. I didn't have the time to go back for review. But procurement related, yes, I had a lot of questions where probably you can see I had about 10 questions at least, 10 to 15 questions at least, which were not directly related to procurement. But then if you know the process, like if you know where your bidder conference happens and what you do in your control procurement, where you are reviewing the vendor's performance and all those things, then yeah, those kind of questions I had lots.
So that so does our, cover the entire thing? Does our course cover entire thing, or we need to include few more things?
Does our cost?
No. I am asking our course, my course material cover all the things
Ah,
that.
yes. As long as you know, yes. As long as you know the process, as you know where your performance reviews are done, which process your bidder conferences are done. Like because they're asking, the questions are not direct at all. Like not a single question. I think only one or two questions were very direct for me, which asked me like which document it is referring to. But the entire 180 178 questions were all very very application based, as in they were completely concepts. I could not actually cannot even now pinpoint, except for this procurement. I knew like, okay, they're asking me for performance review, or they're asking me about bidder conferences kind of questions, and three or four were risk related. But everything was so application based, where you had to apply your concepts and you had to say like, okay, this is what it is.
Okay. Okay.
So I
And you,
cannot say, okay, this is from communication or this is from stakeholder. I cannot say that completely. Probably it was completely on a servant leadership mindset where you had to know how you are going to, take decisions as being a project manager. Those were the kind of way they asked the questions.
okay, so that was an entirely different thing in your exam. And you see, this is the beauty of PMP exam. You give exam, and then she gave exam, Asha gave exam,
Hmm.
with only
Hmm.
one of a difference. And the entire exam is entirely different. Entire exam is entirely different. And that's where our mentor program comes. How we tailored approach according to the requirement. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have done a lot of mocks, prep cast, and so and so. So which mocks proved to you more useful to you?
I think all of the mocks have proven useful to me because I had a learning from the entire mock, which I got an overall concept idea. But Prepcast was very close. Even the Udemy, what you gave me was also, I found the last Udemy, what you gave me, right? That also I found it pretty close. Like the concepts were a little close to what they were. But what I can tell you one thing is like, in Prepcast also, there are some questions which are direct, like, but then these questions were not direct at all. Like, for example, there was something which was related to SPI, CPI. But I was saying, thinking like, oh my God, this is related to crashing. I know this is crashing. But then when I was looking for an option for crashing, there was no option like in crashing. I had to figure out within the four options what is the right option.
Sure, sure. Okay, okay. So, okay. Now you have given us a lot of things, few more things, but just few more things. I know you have a
Hmm.
meeting coming up, lined
Yeah,
up.
no problem.
So, Shashwani, any formula question?
One formula question was there from procurement, which was asking for some cost overruns. I told you I could not figure it out. I didn't have the time to figure it out, so I just selected randomly something. I
Okay.
had drag and drop options, one in each section. They were very easy to the point, like they were asking directly what it means, like what like you need to know what Kanban means or what Scrum means that way.
Any critical path?
And nothing. I had a question on MBTI. I had a
Okay.
question on MBTI
One.
and
You had one
only
question.
one. One
Okay.
one question, but it was a drag and drop. MBTI was a drag and drop for me.
So
It was an application based where some like
I
how
would
you're
say
going to manage the person.
I would say MBTI is becoming must thing for everyone that at least one time they should do the survey of MBTI, because if you can do that and let's say you get a question, you can actually
Mm.
clear it. I give
Yeah.
Asha on the last day, actually yesterday, after maybe talking after listening to the GQ interview. So I gave the link to the Asha, and Asha did the personality test. So everyone
Mm.
who's watching it or who may watch it later on, I put the link in the chat box. You can use this and do the free personality test, your MBTI test, to see how do you stand. Okay, Shishwani, if you know agile values and then those scrum framework, is that enough for a PMP exam?
Yeah. Yeah, it's enough. No questions on lean, no questions on XP, nothing on crystal, nothing on nothing on all those DA, DSDM, all that, nothing on those areas.
Which area was more targeted? Stakeholder communication, resource, risk, which was more
I
targeted?
think communication and resource was more targeted because all questions were around the team and the project manager. So how he's going to communicate and how he's going to make decisions as a servant leader.
So this area need to be figured out. So for all the students who have a simulator which can target some area, so do focus especially on this area. And if you are giving exam in 3 to 5 days, also do some more questions regarding procurement, because procurement is getting more and more. So we need to get a
Hmm.
refocus on this. How to see tomorrow. One more student will give exam, so we'll get more feedback from that student also, how the procurement is coming and how the procurement questions are structured, so we can work on that more. Okay, Shishwani, thank
Yeah.
you very much for your time. And I'm not allowing you to leave the group. Each one teach one. You need to teach other PMP aspirant as you are doing right now. You did it for many students. You need to keep on doing. Shishwani, 1 minute final advice. What will you give one advice to all aspirants?
I think um, hard work really works. So I think I will tell everyone to really work hard. Don't go by any other route. I feel extremely happy today that my hard work has paid off. And the second thing is that just to listen to and believe in your coach. And I think I have to really thank you very much for all the push you have given me and the encouragement you have given me throughout my journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ashwani, and best of luck for future and
Thank
future
you.
endeavors. I know, as I was saying you multiple times, this is the start of the journey. The
Yeah.
real thing happens after that. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Bye. Thank you.
अच्छा जी मैंने ब्रॉडकास्ट